Guys, what's up right now? We're doing a video. We're just going to do some reviews on the stuff that we have. First thing up today, Ethan's going to be grabbing while I'm doing this review. Here's the rod that I caught that catfish off of first the video. It broke, so it's a South Bend rod. Recommend you never buy South Bend ever again. Buy something else that's better than South Bend because it is not good anymore. Like, I used to think they were okay until my rod broke just catching like a 5-pound catfish.
Yeah, our first video is uploading right now. You guys can see it's about 75%. We're keeping that up and you guys can go check that out when it's done. There's also this piece right here. I was using this before, broke off, just random piece.
Yep.
So we're just kind of, showing you what we have and what soon to be we're going to be using. So I have this bait. It's not amazing, but it's okay.
You got a couple nibbles when you fish with it.
Yep. I also have this one, just this weird thing that I don't use.
Yep.
But I have it, and I have all these bobbers.
Pretty fancy.
And then 2 of these.
So I like these Gary Yamamoto. I've got nibbles, but I've never actually landed one. And I've got a couple nibbles on this Zoom Lizards Pumpkin. Pumpkin is a pretty good color at the lake that we fish at a lot.
Yeah, there's one color like it's like guacamole or something.
Yeah.
And we can use that sometimes. We also, to catch bluegill, if you guys would just want to go out and catch a few bluegill and have some fun, here's where it's at. Hot dogs. Always use hot dogs. We buy an 8-pack today. We used a whole bunch of them.
What brand is that? They're really cheap. That's why we use them.
I'm not gonna say it, but just when you go to the store, buy this red pack. It's red, and you guys will figure it out.
And they're Frank's.
And it'll say Frank's on it. And just buy it really.
Up on the list.
Got it. This way I have the trash bobber. It's actually his.
Yeah. With this, I've caught lots of bluegill. I'm surprised they bite this, but they're pretty stupid at the lake/pond that we fish at. I've never caught a bass of it, but it's a crawdad. Like, I've caught lots of bluegill on this.
And guys, I just wanted to show you that. So I have these things. They look like this. I have them in a whole bunch of different colors. I have that pink one that I just showed you guys. I have this neon and white one.
You have a cool one.
I have this yellow and white one. I have this goldish, yellowish type thing. And I just have a whole bunch of these that I use sometimes, and they're sometimes can be good, sometimes can be bad. I like this one. It's green and black. Whatever you can get.
I have a couple of those too. But everything that I've done a review on right now, I would say it's a 5-star except for my rod.
Yep. I also have some extra hooks, and I have some clamps.
Yeah, those come in useful really well. They're really easy to switch stuff. I use them all the time except for when some type of lure tells me not to use clamps. Like, that's all I use.
So that's what's in my box. I have some other stuff that I want to show you guys, and I'll get that out right now.
I've used it once, but it never worked.
I used to have one of those. I got stuck. So, anyways, guys, next up on the list we have these gulp. So I have a whole bunch of these. I have this one.
What type of flavor is that?
That one. This one is for This one is for crappie. This
crappie?
Yep, it's crappie. These are crappie nibblers.
We could probably do a whole crappie video.
Yeah, this is another video idea. This one is pinched crawler. This can be used to catch, bluegill. Sometimes you can catch bass too. So those two, and I have one more. This one is like asticots or something. It's like waxies or whatever. This can also be used to catch bluegill and bass. Sometimes that will work. Sometimes I also have 2 pairs of pliers. I use these a whole bunch. I mean, they're really useful. I'll also have this ginormous thing of weights. ginormous thing of weights. It's got a whole bunch of weights in it, all different sizes. And I use the pliers that I have. Mainly, I use this red pair if I want to do weights, and I use this orange pair right here if I want to cut off lines.
And I have these 2 spoons here. I've caught 1 fish off this. I am totally surprised, but it was a bluegill. It's got a big hook. I'm surprised. This one I have not caught any. I would give this like 3-star. You barely get any nibbles on this. I don't really use spoons that much, so yeah. And so
I would rate these guys this one probably a 5-star, 5-star, 4-star. I do like this one a lot, but you know, it's probably I like the other ones a little bit better.
And like swim baits, the bass, like I would say at this pond / lake, like they do not work that well. Like not that many artificials work that well here. Like the bass are not that smart. Like
the lake we are going to, it's like our nearby lake. What happens is they have so many different parts of the lake. They have a lake, like a part we go there for mainly bluegill. You can go there's a little dam that you can catch like bass and crappie and like carps and stuff. Crappie, pretty much anything. We had a big grass carp on our line, and unfortunately it was like probably that big, but unfortunately
it got away.
It snapped. It
snapped my line.
It didn't snap necessarily. Like it like grabbed the bobber and the hook off of it, but the line was fine. It was weird.
And then it ruined like my line. Like it got all tangled with lots of kinks, so I had to cut like about this much off. But it works okay now. Well, it did until it snapped.
Yep. So, and also when we were doing it, we would have had it if we would have had a net, because there was this ledge like right here, and the crappie went up against the ledge, and we couldn't get it up because it was so heavy. It was probably like this big, probably at least 10 pounds.
I would say around more 20.
Maybe.
It was really hard to reel in.
Very hard to reel in, and we should give you a little bit of story on like the real story on how this pole actually snapped.
Like me and Ethan, like he hadn't caught a catfish today. Like we go to a certain spot, like we started going here today because no one goes there, so the people don't fish here that much, so the fish are pretty healthy around there. They don't get hooked a lot.
Yep, we put our poles in holes in the ground so they would stay and then they would reel. So the first one, Owen caught the catfish.
You saw that in the video with no audio, though.
The video unfortunately had no audio. We told you that in the video, which is now uploading, sorry. Once that uploads, you guys can go check that out. But what happened was, so he caught that one, and it was perfectly fine, and we threw it back, and everything was good. But then when he catch this one, I ran over to it, I grabbed it, started reeling it in, and when I reeled it in, it was all fine, and when it got to the very ledge, and I was just pulling it up in, it just completely snapped.
And then, it accidentally got wrapped around the other line, but we saved it so it wouldn't choke. Mm-hmm. So it was perfectly fine when we let it go.
We snipped it off with some pliers if you guys wanted to know. So that's for that pole. I actually have 2 poles that I want to show you guys. So this one is a I forget what's called, Micro Light Elite. I use it for catching smaller bass, even big bass sometimes. And I would recommend this one. It's pretty good. This, I am using a bait right here. This is like a shallow water kind of type thing.
Isn't that a jig head that's on there?
Yep, it's got this part, which is attached to the hook. Hold on, let me see if you guys can see that. So it's got the head, and then it comes off, and you just slide this part onto the hook, and it slides so you keep it up in the water. And when you do that, the bass will come up to the water, and they'll grab it, and then they'll start to pull down. I've caught like 3 or 4 bass with it. I'd say it's pretty good.
And then like these tiny squid things, I bet you guys know these are pretty common. But I gave this to my friend once, and he caught 3 crappies that day. And I tried it then, and then I caught 4 bluegill. I don't get it. Like, the crappies, I guess, weren't hungry that day.
In my opinion, I really don't like crappie fishing. To me, it's kind of boring, but you know, it's fun to catch them. I also have this rod. It's a lightning rod. It's pretty good. It's powered. It's like graphite fibers in it. It's really good. Super sturdy. You can catch pretty much anything with it.
And then, I have this topwater popper. I found it at the lake. Like, if it does pretty well. It's pretty shallow water. So yeah. So it does okay, except for one hook broke off. And then here's my box. This is my bass box, I call it, since it has my bass hooks. And this, the topwater frog. It is really good. Like, I've got like 2 hits off of it. I've only used it once, but in my opinion, I like it. Like, it's pretty good.
I just realized that we have a ton of weights. So we have this box of weights, this box of weights, and this box of weights.
I have like 4 boxes of weights. So let me see how many.
These are heavier. This is one of my heavier boxes. This is one of my more lighter boxes. This has hooks. This is like a multi-pack kind of. This has hooks, as clamps and weights.
I have these bullet weights I got for when I like use Senkos. I did it once with my dad. We made a video on it, but we didn't. It turns out we didn't catch anything that day. I have these weights. When we moved in this house, this guy left like this whole tackle box with all this stuff. Some of the stuff was okay, but most of it wasn't that good. But these weights they left was. And here's my dad's old weights and he gave them to me. It's pretty nice. And here's all my clamps.
Also, guys, wanted to show you this thing I got. I got these one day. They're 2 like fill weights. I don't use them that much, but when the time comes, I'll probably use it. When the time comes to use a bobber, I'll probably use these.
And sometime we'll have to try this out. I've seen it before, so it's not like I'm trying to tell you that we're not trying to do anything. But are you giving these to me?
No, they're yours.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anyway, so also we also have we're gonna do we have a video ideas. So what we're gonna do is using all the gulps that I've showed you previously. I can show you them right now.
We'll have to try to catch bass.
Mainly we're gonna be using these ones. We might catch some bluegill, some bass.
We'll also try crappie fishing. We'll have to try to catch some crappie. There's some crappie in that lake, surprisingly.
And we're not gonna be always fishing at the same lakes. We're gonna be going to some other lakes sometimes. Like, my dad takes me to this one lake. It's his friend's lake actually, and it's actually really big. We caught like 3 or 4 bass. I caught like 3 or 4 bass in 2 times, and my dad caught like 3 or 4 bass in 2 times that we went.
Were they big bass?
They were probably like 1 or 2 pounds.
That's around the size that they are here.
And also we're going to be using these. These are hot dogs.
And sometime we'll have to try this.
Pretty much we're gonna have hot dogs or salami in all of our videos.
I saw this YouTube video. We'll have to try this sometime. These people, they did this. It's where they buy the weirdest looking lures that thought they want to catch fish. We'll have to try, so you can catch more fish.
And we're also going to do like fishing challenges, such as like trying to catch fish with weird food items. We've actually tried to catch fish with ostrich jerky.
Yeah, we actually caught some.
We caught some bluegill with that. We're probably going to be trying to catch fish with other interesting items that we're going to be using.
And we'll also like have who can catch the most species at the lake, who can catch the most catfish. But the hardest part will be unhooking the catfish because it's kind of scary. Like, since they have those whiskers, sometime we'll have to buy gloves that help us take them off easy, and then we'll do a review on that.
Also, we're gonna have to we're not always gonna be recording like this. We're gonna have like better cameras, like Sony 4K sometimes, and we're also gonna do some GoPro shots. So that's gonna be nice.
So
that's pretty much all we have, and we're gonna be adding. And once we have enough stuff to add to it, we'll do more reviews on that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Also today, I'm gonna be thinking about getting a new rod soon since my one just broke, and there's my brother. So yeah, and I'm gonna be doing like an unboxing on that. And there's one more thing, I forget what I was gonna say. Too bad we couldn't get that grass carp on video. See you later.